I am honored to kick off our celebration of Steve Lundgren as the 2017 Business Leader of the Year. Throughout this evening, you will hear us use the acronym BLOY, which is our endearing term for Business Leader of the Year. As I mentioned earlier, my name is Claire Everts. This is my second semester in the School of Management, and I am in a bachelor's degree program for Business and Administration. My brief time in the School of Management has offered me incredible opportunities to develop and grow. Getting to be involved in BLOY this year has been a great excitement. Since I changed my major so late in the game, quickly getting involved in the School of Management was important to me. So being a co-chair for BLOY this year was an excellent opportunity to take advantage of. It has given me the chance to branch out and connect with other business students and participate in this great community event. I've also met some wonderful people along the way. Support from this event helps fund the out-of-the-classroom experiences that are essential to the School of Management education. Everyone at the School of Management, student and staff, appreciate your participation in this year's event. Now Zach will share what he's gained through his experiences at UAF.
Thank you, Claire. As mentioned earlier, my name is Zach Morris. I'm a senior in the accounting department working towards my second bachelor's degree. After graduating from college the first time, I joined the military and served for 4 years as a combat medic in Fort Wainwright. As my service in the Army was drawing to a close, I was faced with a challenging dilemma. Go back home to California with all that sun and warmth, or stay in the Golden Heart City and attend UAF School of Management. Thank you. And as I stand here tonight, I can say without hesitation that my decision to stay was one of the best of my life. The interactions students have with one another, with faculty and staff, and with professionals in the community are some of the UAF's strongest attributes. Through events like Business Leader of the Year, students have the opportunity to gain skills that just can't be learned in the classroom. We have learned how to be leaders, how to work effectively in teams to solve complex problems. We have put in long hours on top of other academic responsibilities. But in the end, we get the satisfaction of bringing together the Fairbanks business community to honor a person who exemplifies what it means to be a great business leader. Thank you all for supporting this event and the School of Management.
Hello, Fairbanks, and congratulations to Steve Lundgren, this year's UAF Business Leader of the Year. In DC, I often brag how our state is, bar none, the most beautiful in the country, really in the world. But it's our people that make our state truly special. Strong and talented people with a sense of purpose and a deep, deep commitment to their communities and our state. Steve is certainly one of those people. He's an incredibly successful businessman and has made sure that Denali State Bank continues to focus on customers and their needs. But he is also extremely generous with his time outside the office. He's been deeply involved in the Greater Fairbanks Chamber of Commerce, the Fairbanks Sunrisers Rotary Club, the Fairbanks Economic Development Corporation, Junior Achievement of Fairbanks, and the United Way of Tanana Valley. And near and dear to my heart, he is a huge supporter of the men and women in our military and has worked actively, relentlessly, like so many others, to promote the F-35s coming to Fairbanks. As I've said repeatedly, we live in a state that's more supportive of our military than any other state in the country. I've seen this, and it shows in Fairbanks. Steve, thanks for all you do for Fairbanks and our great state and our military. Your leadership and community involvement clearly is inspiring the next generation. And thanks to the UAF School of Management for preparing that next generation. Congrats again to Steve. I hope you all have a great night.
It's a great pleasure to join with you in honoring a great Fairbanksan, a great family man, a great volunteer, and a great advocate for our military families, as well as a nationally recognized advocate for U.S. air power, as well as a national leader in community banking. I hear he's a pretty astute businessman. I am, of course, referring to Steve Lundgren, our 2017 Business Leader of the Year. Congratulations, Steve, on this very well-earned honor. After looking at Steve's impressive resume of business and community service, the only question on my mind is, what took us all so long to say thank you? Steve is a frequent visitor to my office in Washington, D.C. He's a national officer of the Air Force Association, as well as he is a national leader of the American Bankers Association. Steve is always to the point. He is very effective, and I'm told that he's that way in Juneau too. What you see every day that I don't in Washington is Steve's deep commitment to this community. He has spent virtually his entire banking career there in Fairbanks through boom and bust. As president of Denali State Bank, he hires and mentors UAF graduates. He's deeply involved in the work of the Chamber, the Rotary, the Heart Association, United Way, and Junior Achievement, just to name a few of his many, many commitments. Steve stands tall among the many Energizer bunnies who make Interior Alaska a great place to study, to live, to work, and to serve. Now, you may regard him as the business leader of the year, but in reality, he has one of the greatest golden hearts in this golden heart community. So Steve, it is with great respect and affection that I join Interior Alaska in honoring you this evening. You are truly a great leader, and I'm proud to toast you and your many, many contributions. Have a great evening. Take care.
We also have a proclamation to present to Steve, signed by Mayor Castle of Fairbanks North Star Borough, Mayor Matherly of the City of Fairbanks, and Bruce Ward, the Mayor of North Pole. I believe Mayor Castle might be here tonight, and Jeff Stepp from the Mayor's office. Please stand and give us a wave if you are. Okay.
Steve, congrats again. I can't think of anyone more deserving for this award than you. And thanks for making the bank such an awesome place to work.
So this event is a highlight of the year here in Fairbanks and in Alaska because it exemplifies the power of the strong connection, the unbreakable bond between this community and this university. To become such a leader takes not just 2016, 2017, not just 1 year of tremendous leadership. It takes many years of hard work, of study, of learning, of serving, of making mistakes and having the courage and the humility to get back up again, of commitment to oneself, to one's family, and to this great community. All of these things our friend and honoree has done and earned. And all of these things we must do if we are to lead this community and this state through tough times.
Well, congratulations, Steve. I remember meeting you probably 25 years ago when you were at Alaska USA, and knowing you a bit at Mount McKinley and now at Denali State Bank, where you make it, it's a very friendly bank to come to. It's always nice when you're around and there with your smiles and your friendliness. So it's wonderful to see you honored in terms of what you've done for the community. Thank you, and enjoy the celebration.
Steve Lundgren and I have quite a history, and I got to work with this amazing gentleman for nearly 10 years while I was at the Fairbanks Chamber, and I have lots of stories of Steve-isms and Steve Lundgren himself. And one time he invited me to go on a trip to MacDill Air Force Base, and that's in Florida, and it was with the employer support of the Guard and Reserve. And Steve had this packed full agenda, and he said, well, we'll give you guys an afternoon off, so pick whatever you like to do and go out with your friends. And Lisa, how about you want to go for a run with me? So I thought, okay, sure, Steve, let's do it. So I put my running clothes on, and we're running, and he says, how far do you want to go? I said, I don't know, it's really hot out there. Maybe we should just start with 3 miles. So Alaskans, not being acclimated to, you know, the Sunshine State, we're running along, and I'm nearly passing out, and Steve, in slow motion, just starts ripping off his shirt. and I wasn't sure if I was gonna faint from the temperature or that my father figure decided he was going to get half naked and continue to run. So we made it 2.5 miles. So there's a little insight into Steve Lundgren and the man that really has been a professional mentor to me. So in keeping of tonight's theme of honoring Steve Lundgren and the tremendous success of the talented students at the School of Management, I am really honored and pleased to be here to announce that UC Valley Coal Mine is endowing yet a second scholarship of $125,000 to create a second $5,000 academic per year scholarship.
Congratulations, Steve. What a wonderful, well-deserved honor tonight. And the big honor is mine to be part of this Denali State Bank family. You have created such a wonderful atmosphere. You make people feel valued. I am loving this job, and I thank you so much for your faith in me and for the way you lead this organization. And truly, congratulations.
Hello, my name is Gracelyn Wiseman, and I am a senior studying business administration with a concentration in marketing. I am also one of Tammy's marketing assistants for the School of Management, and it is my pleasure to introduce to you the Dean of the School of Management. Dr. Mark Herman is an extraordinary leader who has been in his position since 2007. He says the best part of his job is working with students and watching them progress towards their careers. Dean Herman says this about the community and student partnership. We rely heavily on the community to work with our students on professional development opportunities essential for our students' success and growth. Besides baseball and fishing, he finds few things as rewarding or as fun as hanging out with our wonderful UAF students. Please welcome my dear friend, Mark Herman.
It's my pleasure to be here and to honor Steve Lundgren as our 41st Business Leader of the Year for his dedication and service to our community. And a fun fact, all three presidents of Denali State Bank, Steve, Joe Heckman, and Gary Roth, have received this distinction. I am very lucky that in my job I get to see students like Gracelyn and all the students you see up here tonight and throughout the crowd. These are just incredible young professionals, and I get to watch them grow from when I first meet them. They come into the school, often kind of nervous, not knowing what they're doing, and they leave as these truly amazing young professionals. And it's just the best part of my job, and I learn so much from these students every day.
I'd like to take a moment to introduce Agnes Lawson to the stage. Agnes is a digital art major and will graduate next year at UAF. I've invited her to the stage because her latest project is in dedication to Steve and Business Leader of the Year 2017.
As students, we got the opportunity to work with Steve, and as a digital art major, I decided to show my appreciation by creating him as the Monopoly Man in a form of digital art and spray design.
And so we're about to launch our video, so I'd also like to invite Agnes up again and the rest of my team on stage to share this moment with me. Okay. Good evening. My name is Tara McGrogan. I have been a part of School of Management for 6 years and will be graduating in a few weeks with an MBA. I was given this great opportunity to lead the video production team for this year's Business Leader of the Year. Bloy gave me the chance to develop several skills, including communication, team building, and most importantly, I learned how to manage a project that had a short time frame and a firm deadline. If you'd have asked me to take on such a project a few years ago, it wouldn't have happened. But with the experience and classes at School of Management, I was prepared to challenge myself and further my management experience. I'd like to introduce my team. Pomi Chafin, James Martin, Agnes Lawson, and Josiah Martin. Our combined skills, including drone work, video editing, and public relations, allowed our team to create this year's video. We can confidently say that this process has helped expand our technical and soft skills in marketing. Thank you for letting us share our hard work with you tonight. Pomi, do you want to explain a little bit more about the video?
Hello, my name is Pomi Chafin, and I am a business marketing student graduating in the next couple of weeks. I work at UAF School of Management as the lead marketing assistant. Even though I have strong marketing skills, in no way am I a professional videographer. Besides learning the technical part of filming, including audio, recording, and staging a scene, I also embrace the creative process and learn how to storyboard, edit, and produce the final product you're about to see. I have never felt so creative in a project before and couldn't have done it without my team behind me. Without further ado, here is this year's School of Management video.
I was once a student, and for me personally, the most rewarding part of working with students is it makes me feel like I'm a student again. I enjoy working with students. It helps me remember to be flexible, creative, and innovative.
School management is why I'm at UAF. They provided me all the opportunities that I have, and I'm trying to build off that. Active and Innovative Minds brings together students of business and students of engineering. And the idea behind that is that engineering students usually have great ideas for products, but they don't know how to bring them to market. So the business students pair up with these engineers and bring those products to market. The idea of bringing products to market and actually creating revenue and creating jobs and businesses for Alaska is just, I mean, that's the best aim anybody could have.
My work with local businesses like the Prospector actually started through a class project. International Business was the course I took. Me and a few other students came together. We discussed different ways we could work with the local community. And since my blog is about fashion, I was able to connect with the Prospector, and I did a fashion shoot. And it all had to do with more of tourists coming to Alaska, what they should wear, and places they could go to, like the Prospector, to get winter gear. The school is amazing because we have a really small class size. So you have the opportunity to get the most out of your professors, the office hours in class. Definitely make use of that opportunity. I feel like School of Management makes it really easy. There's even a lot of scholarships too. So you have no excuse not to tap into the resources that you have available for you.
The best way, I think, that I found is to get involved in organizations, clubs, get involved in your community, seek opportunities to become leaders and take leadership positions in those organizations.
We worked with School of Management students. They developed a social media plan for us. I would tell a business that's thinking about working with students, do it. Learn any way that you can, and who better to learn from than young minds? So really take that opportunity and see that as an advantage for your business to grow and implement those ideas so that you're new, you're innovative, you're trending. You want those things in your business.
You don't have every day the opportunity to have somebody that wants this to be their career really helping you. And I think, like, really and truly, our experience with the School of Management was great. I couldn't say thank you enough for the opportunity that our business got. I would
only recommend it to anybody that were to approach us about our experience.
One of my most memorable classes was Dr. Pingland's new venture development class. It was a class that made me stretch my thinking and develop the product that I now sell today called the Wiley Post. I had no idea what I was going to do the day I walked into my class, and Dr. Pingland said, "Today everyone's going to invent something." And I kind of laughed and went, "Yeah, right, what am I possibly going to invent?" And he said, "Well, what problem do you have?" And I said, "Well, today on the ice I couldn't have a good goalie practice because the pegs kept making the nets come off and it was miserable and I was upset." And he said, "Well, fix it, build a better peg." I definitely would not be where I am now without the support of the community, both in Fairbanks and in Anchorage.
I would tell another business that needs to hire an employee, think about University of Alaska, think about the School of Management up there. They do an excellent job at training the next generation of business leader and community leader.
I grew up in Trapper Creek, which is a tiny little place, and there's not many jobs. And so when I came to Fairbanks, and School of Management in particular, it was just a huge eye-opener. It got me introduced to different things that I could do with myself that I would have had no idea about before. The stuff that you do in these clubs and the stuff that you do through school management activities that are available to you. That's the stuff that's really going to prepare you to actually get a job. It's going to go on a resume, and it's going to be what makes you set apart from others.
I had so many out-of-classroom opportunities that contributed to my professional growth at the school management. One memorable experience was when the student organization, Students Offering Leadership Development, coordinated a social media workshop. The skills I learned putting together that training session are skills I use today in my current position, where I actually develop and present new training for my program to the employees at Alyeska.
One of the out-of-classroom experiences that I was fortunate enough to be involved with was in 2010. We went on a trip to San Francisco, and we were able to tour places. And then really what solidified in my mind what I wanted to do as a career is we toured a wealth management firm. When I actually was able to visit that firm and see what they did day to day, that really, kind of nailed that home for me, and it was something that I knew I wanted to pursue as a career. Staying involved is really going to open the most doors that you can possibly have for yourself.
I think throughout this experience that I've had the last couple of months working with the students at the university has been a real gift and a real blessing for me to once again have a close tie with younger students at the university.
Invest today.
Impact tomorrow.
Invest today.
Impact tomorrow.
Invest today.
Impact tomorrow.
Invest today.
Impact tomorrow.
I need the University of Alaska. I need the School of Management for my bank to be successful. Invest today, impact tomorrow.
A little bit about me. I'm actually a college dropout. After I graduated high school, I went to college for like half a semester and just hated it, quit. I bumbled around for a couple years, became a waiter, and decided to be a Navy SEAL. And I actually went to BUD/S, and like so many others, I had to quit due to injuries, but I had a really promising career as a aircraft crewman after that. It was pretty sweet, but it was time to move on. I met my wife, married her, and we moved up here for her job. She works in residence life and loves it. As soon as we got up here, we felt at home. We love it here. It's awesome.
Here, I had an amazing meeting with Aaron and some of the others. I just met him earlier this week, and I gotta tell you, these guys told me they've been working on this product for a really long time. Couldn't wait for the launch. And so I come from the mining industry. And, it takes a little while to permit a mine. Fastest one in Alaska was permitted in 12 years. These guys have been working on this product for 6 months, you guys. Forever. But that's just amazing. When you look at going from idea to product launch, we're looking at the School of Management in action tonight. We do appreciate gifts at any level, but when you think about the competitive advantage of UAF, this is it. It's the networking, it's events like this, it's product launches, it's the clubs they have, it's the opportunities that Aaron was talking about. That's what you get at UAF that you don't get anywhere else. That's what's changing Fairbanks, that's what's changing Alaska, and that's why your investment is so important. We're providing the networking opportunities, we're providing the real world experience, and you don't get that just in a classroom. So the competitive advantage of UAF is everyone in this room. And to make sure that we still have that, we need your investment.
Right. Steve, your big night is finally here, and we are so excited for you. There's never been anyone more deserving of this award than you. And speaking for Sydney and Misty and myself, we are so happy to be here to celebrate with you, but also just so excited to always go to work every week and every day, in and out, and work with you and beside you. And we just think you are the best boss ever. So thanks for taking us along with you every single day. We're proud of you, Steve.
Yes, we are. Steve, congratulations. You deserve this so much, and we are just so honored to work for you and with you as part of Denali State Bank.
Congratulations, Steve.
We're awful proud of you.
Congratulations.
Steve, we're very excited for you in this big event, and there is really no one more deserving than you are to be the Business Leader of the Year. We're so excited to work for you and have you be our leader. Thank you so much for all you do.
So if you didn't get a chance to get your snow brew, there'll be another chance afterwards outside the doors. We're just going to keep the show going now. So, my name is James Martin, and I'm a freshly minted MBA as of December 2016. Thank you. I am the social media committee chair. That's why I've been running around like a chicken with my head off. And I was also the assistant director for the video that you just watched. The man I'm about to bring up on stage is the Communications and Community Relations Manager for Alaska Pipeline Service Company. His name is Bill Bailey. Bill was recognized by the Alaska Journal of Commerce as one of Alaska's top 40 under 40. Bill and his wife, Meadow, have 2 daughters, Ella and Simone. Before we bring him up, Bill left some advice for community leaders and students alike. He advises that you identify opportunities for civic engagement and volunteer for organizations that you truly support. He also believes that you should use your work passions to set your intention and focus on a community endeavor that lets your light shine. And most importantly, he advises that you should exemplify gratitude in all things. So without any further ado, please welcome Bill Bailey.
In recent years, I learned about the value, how to appreciate the value in transformational leadership. So not just leadership, but transformational leadership. Transformational leaders, they motivate and they inspire people to engage in a shared vision. And they mentor individuals and they help build teams. Steve Lundgren, he is a transformational leader. He has a unique passion to develop the next generation of leaders right here in Fairbanks. At times, it seems like he's taken this on as his personal mission. He puts action, real action behind that passion, paying close attention to the ways that he actually inspires people, he motivates them and engages them. For example, several years ago, Steve asked me to participate in the Chamber's Juneau Fly-In. I listened to his pitch, and I noted the importance of advocating on behalf of Fairbanks and the business community, but I told him I'd have to think about it, and certainly I'd have to think about how to convey the value of that fly-in to my supervisor, who was then the superintendent of the Fairbanks School District. Steve eloquently rattled off a list of reasons why it's important to advocate for our community, and both for the private and the public sectors. About a day or two later, the superintendent walks into my office holding his cell phone. He put the phone on speakerphone, and it was Steve on the other end. He was explaining the importance of advocating on behalf of your community and offering measured gains as evidence to the superintendent. So when they hung up, the superintendent, he pretty much repeated exactly what Steve said, but it wasn't to be redundant. He was repeating it because he was processing Steve's vision. Steve had successfully articulated the importance of advocating, but he was articulating his vision, and it inspired us to engage. I've participated in that Juneau Fly-In every year since, and really I credit that to Steve for really illustrating that vision and recruiting me into that. Steve has a very stealthy approach to recruiting the next generation of leaders. Very stealthy. I don't know where he finds the time to do it, because really there's only so much time in a day between traveling, getting suntans, taking off his shirt. But he finds time to do it, and it's impressive, because he puts action behind his passion, and that's truly where stuff gets done.
Hey Steve, you've been amazing to me. You've been a great boss, mentor, just everything, like a father figure. This last 16 months, you've taught me so much and have believed in me and made me grow more than I can explain. I just want to say thank you. There's not many people out there like you that do what you do and mean so much. Thank you. I'm going to grow and I'm going to exceed and I'm going to go places because of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bailey. Hello, my name is Patty Egan and I am a junior studying business administration. I was the Ticket Sales Committee co-chair and am the Vice President of Associated Students of Business. I get to introduce Dan Gavora, the President and CEO of Joyon Utilities. His company operates under a 50-year contract awarded in 2007 by the United States Department of Defense. This is the largest utility privatization contract awarded by U.S. military to date. Dan, a hands-on manager, has a strong background in business administration and maintains tremendous rapport within the workforce within his companies. Dan was the 2012 UAF Business Leader of the Year and had this to say about our vibrant community and students. The School of Management students are the future leaders of the Fairbanks business community, and always remember who helped you along the way. So thank you, Dan, for all your contributions, and it is now my honor to present to you a businessman and my dad's biking buddy, Dan Gavora.
I'm honored to be part of this event as we recognize Steve for his many years of service to our community. Steve is an Alaskan by choice, having come to Fairbanks in the early 80s. Steve not only fell in love with Fairbanks and its people, he became part of the very fabric of our community. Of course, it helps that he also fell in love with a local girl, and Susan certainly helped hold him here. Steve and Susan have 3 children, Ashley, Derek, and Kira, and just recently welcomed their first grandchild, baby Nora. Steve's mentors were many of our local legends, Jim Messer, Bill Stroker, and the late Alaskan Senator Ted Stevens. And among the lessons Steve drew from these pioneers is that our legacy is found in the people we touch, the businesses we build, the community we grow. If you're good at what you do, and Steve absolutely is, it would be a simple thing to focus your energies on your work, learning your craft, taking yourself to the top of your profession. But that's not who Steve is. Personal success isn't enough without the success of your business and your community. An irony of leadership is that often our greatest leaders are also our best servants. And Steve's life in our community is a story of service. Through Steve's leadership, the bank adapts to the changing needs of our community. This has enabled the bank to continue to grow and prosper. Steve understands customers' needs and how to meet those needs. I'm sure he's a little embarrassed about all this tonight, but if you talk to him about his success, he'll give the credit to his team, and it's a good team. They deserve a lot of credit. Steve, you're a great role model and mentor to your employees. You are someone that leads by example, and your commitment and thoughtfulness make you a great leader. You've learned well from those old pioneers, and like them, you can see your legacy in the faces of many of these young future business leaders here tonight. 5 years ago, Denali State Bank recognized that you were the right person to lead our organization. Tonight, that decision is further validated by your recognition by the UAF School of Management and Associated Students of Business as the 27 Business Leader of the Year. It's my privilege to call you my friend. Congratulations.
Steve is probably enormously uncomfortable with everyone saying such nice things about him. And to that I have to say, Steve, that's just too bad.
We have always been treated from the greeting at the door to the teller at the window to the loan officer with a great deal of respect, as if we were the only customer of Denali State Bank. And I have to say, I believe that is instilled at the top with Steve's approach to his business, the seriousness he has at Denali State Bank, and also his relationship with his employees.
What I appreciate about Steve is his ability to get to know each and every one of his employees, no matter what position they have within the bank.
One of the really great things about Steve that he brings for us is to be part of a family. We work together, and I think in doing that, we are a more dynamic team. And I think that's a style of leadership that Steve brings to the table.
I think he represents the new generation, newer wave of role models. He's the president of the bank, but he's accessible to anybody who walks in and wants to chat with him or ask him a question or complain.
He inspires you to make your own decisions, to find solutions to problems that might be outside of the box. And as a young manager, I was hired here when I was 28. Seeing him be calm and collected in a variety of situations helped me remain calm and collected, and has helped me grow as a person.
He's just always there for us. And I believe that he provides that environment because he wants it to be a great place for people to be.
Steve's dedication to ensuring that Denali State Bank is a family-friendly organization is huge to me. My role as a banker is important, but so is my role as a mother. Steve has always made it clear that family comes first, and I really appreciate that.
I remember a specific time when I was close to my due date. Steve gave up his parking spot, which is right next to the building. And so the fact that he was willing to give me his parking spot so that I could not have to waddle across the parking lot was really appreciated, and just goes to show that he does really care about his people.
One thing he does is encourage us to get involved in the community, and he's very supportive of that. It gives us an opportunity to feel like we're giving back as the community bank, and it feels great.
This is an individual with a real commitment to this place. Not only the banks that he's been associated with, but personally, his commitment to our community.
Steve's contribution to Fairbanks is huge, and it's why I enjoy working with him so much.
He serves and has served on a number of boards. Through the bank, they've been able to financially contribute at a somewhat sustaining level for a lot of very important and critical needs in our community.
And being engaged with these organizations makes our whole community healthier and better. With this positive approach, he's just a joy to work with.
The military is a huge part of the Fairbanks community, and Steve Lundgren understands that.
He's been a great advocate of the F-35s.
I say Steve's probably the most active and best volunteer military support in our community.
You cannot ask for any better liaison for the military than that.
Steve's leadership at Denali State Bank, what they did is they provided $100,000 in funding for the surgery center that was just built, and that's huge for the community.
I had the privilege of working with Steve last year as a co-chair for the American Heart Association Heart Walk. One of the things that I really loved about him was just his kindness and his calmness. No matter what obstacles came at him, he could roll with the punches.
Steve is highly involved in the racquetball community. He plays in the senior games, and he always is the gold medalist, and so we here at the bank always tend to poke fun at him a bit.
Steve is a proud, and I underline proud, recipient of 3 of those medals.
He loves winning those gold medals.
You know, Steve is mighty proud of those medals, but
there's no one else in the division.
I mean, congratulations, Steve, right?
Everyone knows Steve as a very nice guy.
He's really pretty smooth out there in the community.
Oh, Steve is loved and known by all, but when you put him on the racquetball court,
his personality changes significantly.
He's really not a nice guy.
He's a competitor.
Aggressive.
Steve chase the ball down and just drive it right into you. Oops, did you miss that?
You don't want to be in front of him, because if it's go for the point or hit you with the ball, he'll hit you with the ball.
I've been hit by Steve plenty of times.
Has no remorse for you because you were in his way.
And I have the bruises to prove it.
He'll even hit you when he's on your team.
I'm his partner. He hit me 3 times in the identical same spot on my rear.
He has smacked me a couple of times.
Steve hits me every chance he gets.
Oh yeah, he loves it.
Mean.
Well, tenacious.
No, not tenacious. He's aggressive on the racquetball court.
He is, in fact, ruthless.
He loves hitting you.
I'd call him a badger. A badger, yeah. Or maybe a wolverine.
Hooah!
So when you step on that court with us, you better put your big boy pants on because we come to play. We're playing doubles in here on a Saturday morning.
And Steve makes a great dive for a shot.
But in his hurry to get there, he slipped forward and crashed his head into the wall.
And he just went down.
He hit the floor.
And we think he's okay. We go up there.
So Mike and I, we look at each other.
We're standing over him. He doesn't move.
You okay? Steve, you okay?
Nobody really wanted to revive him, but Sam offered, so we let Sam do it.
And he finally came to.
Oh, and then they looked up and saw 3 guys standing over him.
Mike said, you know, the bad thing about it, Sam was the only one who gave you mouth to mouth.
I can think of no better recipient of this award than Steve Lundgren.
He provides an environment where people can really come together and flourish.
He works hard, and yeah, I can't think of a better recipient. Good job, Steve.
He's very supportive of the work we do with children. Deep down, that's who Steve is. That's why he's a community leader. And that's why he put other people before his own needs.
And it's that kind of commitment to community that really makes Fairbanks a wonderful place to live.
Even when something's not going right, Steve doesn't say anything bad. He's just real even keel.
He just always comes at you with a kindness and a calmness.
He does what he says, and he says what he means.
He's always upbeat and positive. He's always looking for solutions. Doesn't look back, he looks forward.
He has a good heart.
He really takes that role of being a mentor, and he takes it seriously. And I personally have gained a tremendous amount of support from him in my short time, and I appreciate it.
He just encourages you to be who you want to be.
There's no one that I know of better deserving of this award than Steve. He's just a great leader and has done so much for our community.
All right, it's time to start the award ceremony. Presenting Steve with the coveted lapel pin is Bob Hajdukovic, CEO of Raven Alaska Airlines. Bob is our 2016 Business Leader of the Year recipient. Besides being an outstanding leader, Bob has some great one-liners and does an uncanny Bill Murray impression. Please welcome Bob Hajdukovic.
All your racquetball guys wanted me to pin the sign on your chest. All right. Ouch! That was from Highland.
Hi, Steve. 4 years ago, you told me to take a chance on the bank, and I was scared to leave my 10 people because they were like family, and you told me that the bank would become my family, and they certainly did. So cheers to you. No one deserves it more.
Community business leaders have been honored with the prestigious Business Leader of the Year award for 41 years. Nominations for this award are accepted throughout the year. The selection committee, comprised of the School of Management faculty, past Business Leaders of the Year, students, and advisory council members, make the final selection. Students are excited that Steve is receiving this award because it has given us the chance to get to know him as a role model and better understand why he was selected.
It is tradition that the students present the award to the recipient, and at this time, Zach and I will do the honors. Steve's leadership is an inspiration to UAF students and the Fairbanks community. It is an honor to present Steve Lundgren with the 2017 Business Leader of the Year Award.
Congratulations, Steve, from Jim and Emily and the Northern Bank crew.
Congratulations.
Stephen, congratulations on this fantastic accomplishment. I can't think of anyone who is more deserving. You have been such a great asset to this community. I would say one thing. I want you to work on your boogie boarding skills.
Wow, what a night. Claire, Zach, and Aaron, the rest of the students from the School of Management in the room tonight, and especially to the students that are on the Business Leader of the Year banquet. Thank you so much for this evening. I've been to a lot of these dinners, but I didn't really appreciate the time that the students put into the planning of the event. The process and the planning takes literally months of time that they could be doing other things. So much, as you can tell, goes into the evening. And I want you to know that the real highlight of this for me was to get to know the students and spend time with them over the last few months. I was able to witness their drive, their dedication, their enthusiasm, their commitment, and a solid theme has emerged throughout the evening about these students being the future of our business community and the future of our Fairbanks community, and I have really seen that. I really think that our future is in good hands with these students. Thank you so very much for tonight. Mark and Tammy, I want to thank you for your support of this event, and thank you so much for your commitment and your dedication to the students. And Dana, I've appreciated the opportunity to serve on your advocacy committee, and I've appreciated your insights and your counsel over the last year as we try to advocate for our University of Alaska Fairbanks. Thanks for that. Jim, thanks so much for your kind comments and for your leadership of our university through some difficult and some challenging times. I told the students when I met with them once a story about the opportunity that I had to provide testimony at Woods Center in support of your Strategic Pathways Initiative last year. My testimony was addressed athletics and the School of Management. And in preparation for that, I asked Victoria, my HR manager, to find out how many of our 80 employees at the bank had University of Alaska Fairbanks degrees. And I knew we had a few. I thought we maybe had a lot, but I was surprised to find out that we had 16 UAF graduates out of our 80 employees. That's 20% of my bank have graduated from the University of Alaska Fairbanks. I will tell you, I don't know what the bank would do without the University of Alaska Fairbanks and what these students would do. Many of them are lifelong Fairbanksans. They were born in Fairbanks, they graduated from high school in Fairbanks, and then they went to school at the university, and now they're working at Denali State Bank, and they'll probably be here for many years. Really, I think it would be a real struggle for a local hometown community bank to survive if we didn't have the opportunity to hire the educated and trained students that we get from the university. Trina and Greg and Leslie from Senator Murkowski and Senator Sullivan's office, would you please thank them for their kind remarks? We have a tradition in Alaska from our congressional delegation. They've always been warm and welcoming to us when we travel back to D.C., and Senator Murkowski and Senator Sullivan have certainly continued this tradition. They have always been welcoming to me when I've asked for opportunities to speak to them about banking challenges, the military, or our community as a whole. So I appreciate their support of our community. Bill, thank you, I think, for your comments. I've known Bill for a number of years, but I really had the opportunity to witness his abilities and leadership skills a couple of years ago when I chaired the Chamber of Commerce Nominating Committee. And I asked him to chair the board following the unexpected departure of a chair-elect. Bill stepped up to fill this need, and then he successfully directed chamber management transition. Good job, Bill. As you can tell from his comments, another person with long history in Fairbanks, committed to Fairbanks, as many of the rest of you next generation of Fairbanks leaders are in this room. One of my most rewarding activities was and still is working with the Chamber of Commerce, previously with Lisa, although after telling that story, I'm going to have to reevaluate that. I don't at all remember it the way you told it. And then currently with Marissa and our excellent chamber staff. The chamber advocates for our business community, but I also appreciate that they advocate for Interior Alaska as a whole. In order for my business to be successful, I need happy employees. My employees have families. They want good schools for their children. They want good health care. They want recreational and educational opportunities. My employees want a good quality of life. And the Chamber understands that advocating for quality of life issues also supports our business community. And Dan, thanks for your comments. Dan, as he said, is the chairman of my board, and he initially reached out to me 10 years ago to talk about the CEO position at the bank. I'd also like to recognize the other bank directors we have here with us tonight. Dave Hale, Margaret Rich, and Joe Heckman are in the audience with us tonight. Community leaders, very much so in their own right. They're sitting at tables with their friends and their staff. My directors and my shareholders are truly committed to our community. And although we're paying a pretty good dividend, there are better returning market investments available. So when I asked my shareholders why they bought stock in Denali State Bank, they tell me that they expect a reasonable return, but they're also shareholders because they're committed to Fairbanks, and they know that owning a business that employs 80 employees is good for the economy of Fairbanks and is good for those employees. I want to quickly thank the other bankers that are in the room. We're tough competitors, but I'm proud that our banking industry in Alaska comes together to advocate as a group for issues important to Alaska and important to our economy. I see friends in the audience from First National Bank of Alaska, Mount McKinley Bank, Key Bank, Wells Fargo, and North Rim. Joe Sherhorn right up front here, a Fairbanks kid who did well in the big city. Thanks for coming up from Anchorage for the event tonight. And Maureen and Stewart from Moving Images, thanks for the video. This is the first time that I'd seen it. I want to thank all of you who were willing to be filmed, and I thank all of you who had kind comments for your kind comments. And to my racquetball buddies, I wish I'd seen this before we played racquetball this morning. I will view it again as inspiration before we play again next Saturday. I'd like to recognize my family, and would you please stand here? My mom and my sister, Arlene and Teresa, came up from Oregon tonight. My mother-in-law, Adele, and my sister-in-law, Jackie, are here with us. My daughter, Kira, is here, and my son, Derek, and daughter, Ashley, son-in-law, Mike, and my 2-week-old granddaughter, Nora, are in the back of the room. She must have gotten hungry. Thank you for joining me tonight, and to my wife, Susan, sitting up here Thank you for making all of this possible. I'll close my remarks by telling you I frequently get asked what the president of a bank does. And sometimes my bank board has that same question. I tell them that most of my day is spent doing what I can to make my employees successful. The heavy lifting at the bank doesn't come from the bank president's office. It happens at the teller line, at the new accounts desk, in the call centers, and in the loan offices. The reason I'm being recognized here tonight as the Business Leader of the Year is really because of the hard work of my bank employees. Many are in the audience tonight. I'm blessed to have the opportunity to work with each of you, and thank you for being such good representatives of the bank and of the Fairbanks community. Thanks for all you do, and thanks everyone. Have a good evening.